Otras de alguien más. Aprendimos viejas costumbres y algunas las queremos cambiar. Nos enseñaron a mirar atrás, a respetar lo que quedó, pero tenemos nuestros propios pasos y nadie sabe a dónde voy. La vida avanza a pasos agigantados, no nos podemos quedar atrás. Tenemos tanto por descubrir, tenemos tanto por inventar. Y aquí estamos, somos el futuro y el pasado. Lo que aprendimos, lo que nosotros inventamos. Y aquí estamos, con tanta gana de...
¡Qué buena banda, por Dios! La rubia del bar te estaba mirando, boludo, y vos hablás de la banda.
La noche recién empieza, nadie se quiere volver. Camisas medio abiertas y tantas ganas de ver. Las chicas cruzan miradas, como invitando a jugar.
It was late November 1981. Summer was approaching Buenos Aires. Sergio was 18, finishing his last days of secondary school and already thinking about the long summer ahead. Like so many young people his age, his world was simple: friends, music, weekends, and the freedom that seemed to come with leaving school behind.
Buen día. ¿Cuándo llegaste ayer?
Temprano.
¿Temprano?
Depende de cómo lo mires.
¿Y qué pasa con los papeles para el ejército?
Todavía falta, mamá. Ya lo voy a hacer.
Jo tenc casi para començar l'operació, gos. Aquí enseñó, pero acá todos así.
En el parque vuelan mariposas y mi amor por vos toma vuelo. Una tarde, un cigarro y un café y tu mano descansando sobre mí. No sabemos dónde va este amor, me hace falta preguntarlo hoy.
Roger was 23, a Royal Marine from London. He had been enjoying a few ordinary days of leave, time away from the routines of the barracks, spent back home with his family.
Waiting just around the bend. Every word we say, every passing day, we keep moving on.
There was nothing unusual about that day. A trip into town, tea with his mother, some music upstairs. The kind of ordinary afternoon that rarely earns a place in anyone's memory.
Roger, there's a letter for you.
Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there's a letter for you. Roger, there
What is it?
They want me back earlier.
Inside Atlantico.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
January 1982 began like any other New Year. Thousands of miles apart, Roger and Sergio welcomed it, surrounded by friends, with no reason to imagine that within a few months, their lives would be connected by a war.
Ma, me llegó la carta del ejército.
Sergio, only 18 years old, was now leaving behind the familiar streets of Buenos Aires and beginning a life he knew almost nothing about. Wednesday, March 24th, 1982. For Sergio, Army life had already begun to settle into a routine. Drills, weapons training, inspections, waiting. He was 18 years old, doing what thousands of conscripts before him had done.
Atención, preparen todo su equipo. Quiero a todos listos a las 14 horas.
The order came without explanation. Pack everything. Be ready by 1400 hours. No destination was given.
¿Alguien sabe a dónde vamos?
Ni idea.
Within hours, Sergio and the others were on their way to an airfield.
¿Alguien sabe a dónde vamos? Dijeron Malvinas.
Thousands of kilometers away, Roger's life still seemed untouched by any of it. Back in England after training in Norway, he was on leave, enjoying a few ordinary days before returning to duty. But on the morning of April 2nd, the conflict that had seemed so distant finally reached Roger's home.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'll be there as soon as I can.
April 2nd, 1982. Before dawn, Argentine forces approached the Falkland Islands. The operation had begun. Meanwhile in Britain, Roger and the men of 42 Commando were briefed on the operation ahead. Their mission? Sail south with the task force and prepare to retake the Falkland Islands. Troops came ashore near Port Stanley, while other units moved toward key objectives across the settlement. One of the first was the airport. Sergio's unit was ordered to secure the airfield and hold its position as reinforcements began arriving. For Sergio, there had been no battle. He remained at the airport, carrying out the orders he had been given, watching as more Argentine troops arrived on the islands. Thousands of kilometers away, Britain was already preparing its response. Royal Marines of 42 Commando received their orders and began moving south. On April 9th, they boarded the converted ocean liner SS Canberra at Southampton, part of the rapidly assembled British task force bound for the South Atlantic.
Hola, mamá. Quiero contarte que estamos bien. Hace mucho frío, pero tenemos abrigo y estamos bien equipados. No te preocupes, te prometo que estoy bien y ya volveré a casa pronto. Un beso grande y te escribo apenas pueda nuevamente. Tu hijo, Sergio.
May 1st, 1982. At 4:40 in the morning, the war reached Stanley. The men rushed to their positions, expecting the British to come at any moment. But no ground attack came. When daylight returned, they saw what the night had left behind: a massive crater torn into the airfield. Then came the waiting. Days became weeks. Cold rain, flooded trenches, little sleep, and the constant uncertainty of when the real attack would begin. By May 20th, Sergio and the others were exhausted. Then the warning finally came. British ships had been detected approaching the islands. After weeks of waiting, the order was simple. Check your weapons, check your ammunition, take your positions. The British were coming. May 21st, 1982. Before dawn, the British began Operation Sutton, the amphibious landing that would establish their foothold on East Falkland. The first assault wave carried 40 Commando Royal Marines and the 2nd Battalion Parachute Regiment into San Carlos water. Other units would follow, landing around San Carlos, Ajax Bay, and Port San Carlos. The location had been carefully chosen. San Carlos lay more than 80 kilometers west of Stanley, where Sergio and the main Argentine forces were positioned. The distance and difficult terrain made an immediate Argentine ground response far more difficult. Roger was not among the first men going ashore. 42 Commando remained aboard the civilian liner Canberra as the brigade's reserve, waiting for the order to land later that day at Port San Carlos. As 40 Commando and 2 Para moved inland to secure the beachhead, the battle shifted to the skies. Argentine aircraft swept low over the islands, launching repeated attacks against the British ships gathered in San Carlos water. From aboard Canberra, Roger could only watch as the calm of the landing erupted into chaos. After the Argentine air attacks, 42 Commando was ordered ashore at Port San Carlos to reinforce the British beachhead. Roger left Canberra and stepped onto East Falkland for the first time. Now, for the first time, Roger and Sergio stood on the same island, fighting the same war from opposite sides. In the early hours of May 28th, 2 Para launched the attack on Darwin and Goose Green, the first major land battle of the war. Their ultimate objective lay farther east, Stanley. At Goose Green, the waiting ended. British and Argentine troops met in the first major ground battle of the campaign. Across East Falkland, the war was moving towards Stanley. On May 28th, as British forces advanced across East Falkland, orders reached the defenses around Stanley. Men were needed farther west to reinforce the line. Soldiers were selected for immediate transfer. Among them was Sergio. By June 11th, the battle for Mount Harriet was raging. British forces of 42 Commando pushed against Argentine positions through the darkness. Amid the chaos, Sergio saw a wounded soldier and instinctively pulled him to safety.
Quédate acá. Vas a estar bien. Gracias.
As the British advance continued, there were others. Sergio kept fighting. But each time another man fell, he went back for him. Before long, he was spending more time saving his comrades than defending his position. The British advance continued. By the early hours of June 12th, 42 Commando had broken through much of the Argentine resistance on Mount Harriet. The battle was turning decisively in their favor.
It'll be over soon.